Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for your continued support, you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to go down to the scene bowl. We're getting ready to do Libra's reading. 7th house, partnerships, close relationships, marriage, business partners, domestic relations of all kinds, unknown and known enemies, attraction, qualities we admire from our partners. That is that house. So that's the house of Libra. So that is the 7th house, and we are on the 7th sign around the zodiac here. So let's go ahead and go down to the scene bowl, and then I will start your guys' reading, okay? Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen, divine energy, guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good. As we walk on the path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness and understanding with acceptance and faith in the holy light of love. Amen. Thank you, Spirit. Libra. All right, Libra. Okay, so the spread we're doing is a life purpose spread. It's where you're at. It's where your desires are, where you want to go. Your first step to getting there, your strengths, and then your weaknesses or soft spot, I've been calling it. So let's see where you're at right now, Libra. I have been reading these from the book. These are running about close to an hour long, so I hope you have time to watch it. But if you've been with my channel, you know my readings are not short. So I try to do it sometimes, but it just doesn't happen, you guys. All right, let's see, Libra. What do we got? The squirrel, preparation. And it did come in reversed. Preparation. Preparing for something, maybe not feeling prepared for something. That is more, when it comes out reversed like that, it may feel like you need to prepare for something more, or you don't feel prepared for something. You're not allowing yourself the time to prepare for something. We got revelry in the where you want to go here. This is fun. This is friendship. This is getting together. This is being happy and joyful and jovial. You know, it's really nice. So you just want to, there's some kind of something you may be preparing for or needing to prepare for, to do something that makes you happy, to move towards something that may be closer to friends or connections that bring you happiness and joy. And that's what I'm getting so far. And then the first step is creativity. Some kind of, this could be some kind of outlet, some kind of creative expression or outlet that you like. This could be journaling, this could be art, this could be singing, this could be music, or just a creative way of getting somewhere by just, I feel like whenever I get this kind of energy, there's like, it's challenging, but it's like saying, be lighthearted and playful about it. That's the creative way. The creative way is to look at it like it's a game or it's fun, or, you know, like there could be something here that feels like, oh my gosh, like I need to do this. It's like making, I went into this own personal story of mine. And when I was a kid and I used to have to do chores and clean my room and stuff, I used to pretend that there was a show called Quantum Leap. And I don't know if anybody here is old enough to remember that show, but that was like my whole childhood. I was always leaping. I was always quantum leaping and to help people. And it made my life more fun. It made what I was doing feel more fun. It was a creative way of getting things done. It's like, hey, I'm going to pretend I'm jumping into this messy kid's room and her parents are, you know, if she doesn't get a room clean, you know, they might lose her house, or I don't know. It was something dramatic. And I got to get this done. And I would get done. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm done, you know, and then on to the next thing, on to the kitchen, or on to the next chore, or on to the next task. It feels like you could be dealing with some tasks that you are needing to approach in a creative way, which to me is a fun way. This could be writing. This could be exploration in like creative things, like doing creative things, exercising, find maybe yoga, hula hooping, something like that, or just having more fun with what you're doing. That's because whatever you're preparing for it's serious. Like preparation is serious. The squirrel is serious. It's serious business. All they do is prepare, 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 prepare. This could be saying maybe also, I'm getting that too. You could be preparing, over preparing, like not taking enough time to lighten up, and then it stresses you out. Like it's like, oh my God, I gotta get this done. I'm gonna be grounded for a year or whatever. And it's like, instead of doing that, make a game out of it, make fun out of it, have a little downtime. You know, I am getting that. Your strength here, there's a fear here, but it was reversed. So it tells me that whatever this is, there's not a lot of fear. You're not afraid, but there, and you could be really trying hard not to be afraid of all the work it's taking or going to take to make this happen. This more joyful outcome or joyful experience that I feel like you may be trying to prepare for and create in your life. And it does feel like with the squirrel always, it's like the squirrel's trying to sustain itself through winter too. So you could be definitely it's feeling like trying to release your fears about not being prepared enough, or maybe that's why you're over preparing. You know, that's kind of what I'm getting to. Like there could be an over preparation here of something because you don't want to have, because you're not going to be afraid of that bill or that task or that chore or that relationship or that dynamic. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm getting. There's a lot. So this is general, you guys. So you know, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But I'm getting a couple different scenarios here. But I am feeling like that could be it, like this over preparation, over work, and not enough play kind of thing, because you don't like to be afraid or upset or angry because something isn't done or isn't there. It feels very like, yeah. The weak spot here, recuperation. That's exactly what I was just talking about. It feels like you're over busying, overdoing. You're not taking enough time for yourself. You could be really like working hard on something, you guys, preparing for something big here, and not taking enough time to enjoy the journey. You're too busy preparing for what's coming in a month or a year, and not enjoying the time where you're at right now, because there is a fear that you're trying to subdue with over preparing. That's what I'm feeling. So that's what I'm getting. Interesting. Let's go ahead and read this preparation. The squirrel. Buried treasure. As many know, the squirrel never fails to prepare for the upcoming winter. Trees only produce nuts once a year, but this animal needs to eat all year long. So what's the solution? Buried treasure. The squirrel comes when you need to take advantage of this moment to prepare for the future. And it did, like I said, it come out reversed. So there's a feeling here, maybe you've already prepared, or maybe you do feel the need to really prepare here. But it's also saying as you go and prepare for this thing, there's a feeling here of needing to find joy in it, or the lighthearted side of it, or the fun side of it. Make it funner, and be creative about the way you're doing it. If you don't know what you want for your future, how can you prepare? You're in an auspicious time, and you would do well to strengthen your foundation of what's ahead. This card says that there is much you can be doing. Whether you realize it or not, the squirrel can smell nuts buried under a foot of snow. Does something useful lie buried? The more you uncover and store now, the more gifts you will have to dig up later. Bulk up. The animal also asks you to redirect your preparations inward first and foremost. That's what I'm kind of feeling too, is like, even though you might be doing a lot of things physically, there's a feeling here of needing to take that time inside to recuperate, rejuvenate, find like some joy or fun in it. Yeah, because that's what you'll need later. Because as we know, like there's always that time, I know, just in between paydays or in between seasons, the end of the winter or the end of the pay period. It's like there's that time when you don't have anything. Like, it's just barren, you feel broke, or you feel cold, or you feel stressed out. And that's when we need that extra bit of energy, guys. That's when we need that creative, like, push, that oomph, that the spirit's what gets us through when all the material stuff has went through and gone through and it's spent. Now we need to utilize what we have inside of us, which is absolutely free, but it does need taken care of. We do need to protect that, honor that, and store that. Store that for our times upcoming too. These animals can traverse difficult mental and physical obstacles. Bulking up helps them survive the winter. What do you need to survive? What tools and what mechanisms need to be in place for the gears to turn? Reflect on the preparations you have underway, specifically for yourself. Are you thinking about yourself at all when you are making future plans? Or have you just been worrying about accommodating the needs of others? The squirrel insists that you place supreme emphasis on your development. Plan out a moment each and every day to focus on what's important to you. Taking that time to focus on what's important to you, not what's not important, not just staying busy, not just worrying about the weather that's coming, not just getting through the storm, but really taking that time to for yourself to feel comfortable. This is a theme going through the readings, you guys, this energy of being uncomfortable, preparing, doing, working, and needing to take that time to be in the moment, be there for ourselves, show compassion towards ourselves and others, and just utilize what's right there in front of us. Happy accidents. The squirrel's steady and strategic planning doesn't just benefit them. This animal will often find the nuts that aren't theirs, but have been hidden by other squirrels. Additionally, by scattering nuts, they unintentionally aid forest development. Your preparation don't need to be strictly adhered to. Sometimes accidents and detours turn into greatest blessings. Yeah, so it's like you may have a plan, you may be preparing for something, you may be killing it, and that's good, but there's this need to look at, it's okay for it not to be perfect. It's okay for, it's not just perfect, but even if it doesn't fully sustain you, what's inside will. That's what I'm getting. The barn owl and the weasel are the ecosystem for this card. Preparing for life takes a great deal of wisdom. This predator reminds you not to look at the preparation as strictly lists and calendars. Preparation involves making a mental strategy, plotting out what you want and what you feel most of all, what you want. So it's not just making the physical preparations here. That's what I'm getting most from your guys' readings. It's making those spiritual and energetic preparations for yourself as you shift and move forward into what I feel is you want to be a happier, and this is what you're desiring, is this friendship, this camaraderie, this joy. It's interesting, and stuff doesn't buy us joy. We have to remember that. We had a big discussion around here about materialism and stuff, and it really it can make it easier, money and stuff can make it easier to take time for ourselves. But if you don't utilize the time you have to, extra time to do that for yourself, you're just going to waste that time. It's just extra time you're going to waste. It's what it feels like. But it feels like there's just a really strong feeling of needing to prepare inside, get yourself strong inside. It's not the physical stuff. There's something inside. It says that you need to, it's like, it involves making mental strategy, plotting out what you want and what you feel most of all. So it's what you want and what you feel, not what you think you need to get the job done. But what do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And what are you feeling? Are you doing what you're feeling? Or are you just doing something that's okay? It's kind of okay, I have 5 appointments. I got a busy schedule because I'm a busy person, which I'm not, but, which I am, but I'm not like that. I'm definitely not the calendar kind of person, but, it's all these 5 appointments. It's is there a couple of those things that absolutely you're not feeling, dude? You're not feeling. It's taking your time up and you're not feeling it. It's just feels like you could be doing some extra things that you're just not feeling in love with, that you're just not feeling actually, but it's but that might come in handy, or that this will help me be prepared just in case. We need to focus on what we love and what we want, not the just in case or the what ifs. Okay, that's another message coming through. The weasel, don't grow too addicted to your map. This means stepping off path is okay. Not doing everything a certain way is okay. Be flexible in your preparations. And that's what I'm getting with this creativity too. Don't smother them with well-intended passion. Though you may have an idea of what you want and desire, the universe might have other plans. A lot for them. Allow your future room to breathe. What you want and your desires and passions is this revelry, this otter. And we will go ahead and read that. This is what you're wanting. If this is your reading. Warm and fuzzy. Fuzzy and adorable, the otter symbolizes the lighter side of life. Whether you want to feel more light, you want to feel like things are easier, more lighthearted. Do you make time to relax and just enjoy life? The otter has the densest fur of any animal, a necessary adaptation to their survival. This thick layer of fur keeps out the cold waters they float through. In fact, grooming their fur is such a big job, it takes a majority of their time. What are you grooming? Habits that keep the cold water out. How do you create revelry and let off steam when you're feeling burnt out? You're being asked to learn the art of chilling out. Okay, so when it's saying, there's a filling here of habits. What are you doing when, are you, how do I put this? What are you doing for yourself to create a more flowing, easygoing, lighthearted way in your life? Or are you taking everything strategically and materially, and are you not taking that time for the other, for the self, for the deep inner self, for the wants, for the things you feel? Are you just doing the material stuff you think you need, when this is really a need, you guys? It really is. How do you create revelry and let off steam when you're feeling burnout? So it's also asking you, what are you doing to rejuvenate yourself? Is it healthy? Is it a habit? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Is there something better you could be doing with your time? Like I said with the calendar, I just got that picture of that calendar, and like the 2 or 3 things, and I was getting 2 specifically. It's like, you don't need to do those things. That's not helping. You could take that time that you're doing those things for yourself, and focus on something you love or want in your life. And something that feels better. That's what I'm getting. Floating along. What better way to revel in fun than with the people you like the most? The otter does a lot of floating. And to ensure they don't drift away from their friends while they kick back and relax, they link up and create a floating otter raft. What is cuter than that? Throw a party, go to the event, or just invite some friends over. Being social is a positive force in your life right now. Any opportunity to link up with others and float along will keep you sane when the stress builds up. Yeah, if you're working too hard or over busying yourself, take time for those you love. Take time for those, to be close to those, and just chill. Just chill. Watch a movie, watch Netflix, do something like that. Don't stay busy and overthinking, overanalyzing, over-preparing. That's what I'm getting. Overkill. But the otter warns not to take partying and having it too far. That's another energy that's been in this. I feel like a lot of people could be trying to numb or escape this kind of gritty energy of not feeling prepared enough, or not feeling like they can influence and there's a lot we can't right now, you guys. All we can do is take care of ourselves and ground ourselves and center ourselves, because there's a lot of energy going through right now, and a lot of people going through their own process, okay? So it's really, really important to understand that. But don't overdo any indulgences. If you are overindulging, this is a warning to not overindulge, not get sucked into having too much fun. It says there is a healthy level of relaxation and enjoyment. This is not being lazy. That's been a theme through these readings. It's not being spiritually lazy. In order to not be spiritually lazy, energetically lazy, we have to not do things to our body that make us feel lazy. If we're just sitting around drinking beer all day, or smoking all day, or sleeping all day, or eating a cake all day, or whatever it is, that's not helping us. It's not helping your spiritual growth. It's not. It's not, you guys. And I'm not going to, I love cake. And I've given up a lot of crutches, you guys, and it just doesn't. It's better if you're present and aware, and that's been a message through these readings, is being present and aware and in the moment to take in even the grittiness and see how we're handling it. How are we handling our discomfort? How are we handling pressure of knowing that, yeah, there's things I need to do. Yeah, but am I taking this moment in? Am I enjoying the things I love? Am I doing it in a healthy way? Stuff like that. True magic occurs when you can create a good flow between the two, work and play. Allocating days for fun and for responsibility can help in striking this delicate balance in your life. The great white is in the ecosystem, and it's the fearsome predator of the otter, asks you to prevent getting stuck in the mud. Remember that your true power will flourish when you are cared for. Taking time to engage in revelry will provide you with downtime you need to level up. The hermit, let your sanctuary be a place of joy and celebration. If you are in desperate need of revelry, don't feel guilty for putting on your pajamas and turning on some guilty pleasure. Some Netflix or something. The toad. This praise says that when revelry is taken too far, it can lead to greed and debauchery. Watch out how much you spend, and be wary of online shopping binges and spa days in the name of self-care. What are you doing to care for yourself? Are you overindulging in anything? I didn't bring shopping in, but that's one of them. Are you overspending stuff? Are you buying yourself lots of new clothes and blah, blah, blah? Or, are you just spending it on other things so be mindful of this energy right now, because you could be wanting to go into this more lighthearted place, which I don't blame anybody, but there is a feeling here of needing to be mindful about that. The rhino. This fear. And I'm going to read this stuck in the mud, because it says the rhino isn't afraid to get down and dirty. This is because it has to. With tough skin, it is surprising to learn that they're also quite sensitive to the hot sun. Rolling around in the mud helps these animals stay cool and keeps their skin from burning. Jump into your fears and don't be afraid to make a mess in the process. This card often hints that there is something you are attempting to avoid. Exposure therapy, submerging yourself in what scares you the most. Maybe that's why you're staying busy, is because there's something here you need to engage in. And this is actually, I feel like it's interesting. I feel like with this being your strength, in the strength position, there's something you want. Maybe you're really preparing yourself to really face a fear. Like, it's feeling like, yes, but it's almost like asking you to kind of slow down and fill with your heart. If you're preparing, how you're preparing and what you're doing to prepare is actually helping you inside. That's a big thing I'm getting to. Jump into your fears and don't be afraid to make a mess of the process. Submerge yourself in what scares you the most. It will help you realize that it's all in your mind, and that you could be trying to face your fears, trying to not see things as negative and that's where you're going. It's like, I want to see things more lighthearted. I want to be more friendly and more just playful and lighthearted. And it's like, but you got to face your fears first. Fear is not as bad as you have imagined it to be. Instead of avoiding issues in your life, roll up your sleeves and jump in the mud. When you discover what's holding you back, what you are most afraid of, charge towards it with passion and courage. This card comes to you when you need a reminder not to let anything cause you to question yourself and your power. I love that. Allow someone to be your sentinel and accept and trust their advice. Trapped inside the confines of your mind, you lack the perspective you need to move past your fears. This is if you need to rely on somebody, if you really feel like you can't move past your fears. I don't feel like that's the case with this reading. I feel like you are moving past some fears, but you could be still staying too busy and not taking the time to feel it, or lighten up about it, because this is all a process of you moving through fears to get to a lighter hearted place. Let's go to the three-toed sloth. Oh, I love sloths. Okay. Slow your roll. This is the weak spot. So this is something you're just staying too busy. I'm feeling that with your guys' reading. The three-toed sloth isn't running anywhere or even walking. It is the slowest animal on earth. And this did come out reverse, so it's telling me, you're going too fast. The laid-back animal comes when you need to slow your roll, kick up your feet and chill out, put away work and stressors. Your critical task at this time is to simply do nothing. You are recharging and recuperating. If you keep racing at top speed, you're going to end up stranded out of gas and wishing you had pulled over. You aren't shutting down, just taking a break. Allow yourself some time to rest and recover so that you may move forward fully charged. I love that. This could mean a vacation or just taking a day alone to yourself by removing yourself momentarily from what's stressing you out. This busyness, I'm getting that. You might gain some perspective high up in the treetops that you couldn't find from the ground. When you create a space and time to decompress, you open the way for things to grow and flourish. Often our best ideas arrive when we feel we are at a grinding halt. The three-toed sloth's body is a tiny ecosystem of its own. As a slow-moving furry animal, their body becomes an ideal habitat for many insects. Algae will grow on its coat, creating a green hue that advantageously camouflages the three-toed sloth among the tree canopy. Your recuperation could be an abundant source of life and energy. Sometimes growing isn't accomplished through action, but repose. Just as the mind works hard while we sleep to catch up, to sort through our thoughts, to dream, our recuperation can serve as a space for magic to happen. That I was feeling that at the beginning with the preparation, like you could be really not taking that time, and because it's like you can get this done now, this done now, this done now, but this reserve needs built up for when you need it. Kind of like that mold or that algae builds up. That algae builds up on the sloth, and it comes in handy later. That it's like moving slow can sometimes build up the things you need later in order to survive. It's interesting. I just want to be alone and quiet in a room with a chair, a fireplace, and a cozy tea. I don't even know what a tea cozy is, but I want one. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love that. All right, you guys, let's get an animal card for you, and then we're going to get a white light oracle, and then that's going to wrap up your guys' reading. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this energy, you guys, it's been pretty intense. Gritty. The Crow. And, Virgo just had this also. So you may even have Virgo in your chart or around you in your life. And then the peacock on the bottom. Let me look here. That Crow. It's also an air energy. They had the butterfly. You have the Crow, but they have the Crow in the other part of their reading. Spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. That's this. Creativity. Creative and watchful. Spiritually strong. Building up the spiritual strength. Not the physical strength, not the material stuff. Inside stuff right now, you guys. The Crow has long been a symbol of magic. A Crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the Crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. That's another thing that's been coming through, clearing the mind, not being intoxicated, or, you know, if this might be a good time to like cleanse, fast, you know, stay aware, stay alert, stay present in yourself. Because there's something here that's trying to build on you, and it's something that's beneficial to your existence, your life, your security, your happiness, especially your happiness. Those with Crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. Taking that routine, that time to study, that time to meditate, that time to read, that time to whatever. Focus on yourself in a productive way. And surrounding yourself with people you love, people you care about. Is your heart where you're at? Or are you just staying busy because you're trying to avoid doing this work, doing this the work, the preparation that needs done inside, not just outside, you guys. Manifestation just doesn't happen with the outside. The outside doesn't change what's going on inside. We have to work on what's going on inside. When in balance, its psychic is strong and clear. When out of balance, it's ungrounded and hypersensitive. And to bring into balance, daily meditation practice with the Crow. Okay? So let's go ahead and get a white light oracle for you guys. love this one. I love the Dara Delta. Probably one of my favorites. So loving and gentle and kind. I don't know. I just love this card. I love deer. I love it. Without any force. Yeah, you could be being too forceful, too pushy, too busy about something. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in your own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. When you're doing light things, when you're doing the things that are good for your soul, good for your heart, good for your body, good for your mind, etc. It's really nice. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of the old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it. Like, this is what I usually do in the wintertime. It just does feel like something you always do. This could be a habit, something you always do, staying busy, maybe marking the calendar, staying busy, keeping all your time slots filled and not taking any time to do this inner severing, the severing of what you are used to doing compared to what you want to do that will bring you more happiness. It's to unlearn what one once knew to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here one is completely unconscious. There is a temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. And this feels like getting into that deep, quiet, not busy place with this feeling of recuperating, healing. And this is needed. And this is needed for your future. This is needed for your well-being. It says, and then I was getting this a little with the rhino too, just to be not aggressive, because when this is out of balance, you guys, this kind of energy, we can be really protective and defensive over what we're doing physically and stuff. Like, I'm doing this for a reason. It's because we need to, or I need to do this, or blah, blah, blah. And it's really like, why don't you slow down? Take some time. And you could snap and be like, well, just because you sit, this has happened to me. You sit around and don't do nothing. Yes, I do. I'm doing tons. I'm just not moving. It's okay. Like, I do a lot. I do a lot. And try telling me I don't. I do a lot. That's really rough. It's rough to hear. But it's really rough if that you're the one ever saying that to, because you're trying to stay busy and not do your inner preparation, your inner work. So that's something that's really coming out too, with this Greek nymph Taygate called upon her beloved goddess Artemis to protect her from the unwanted advances from a powerful suitor. In response, the goddess transformed Taygate into a doe, so she would be safe from harm. Taygate teaches us that we can become vulnerable like a gentle deer in the spiritual sanctuary of our devotion, protected by a greater source. Then there is no need to become aggressive or harsh to defend ourselves from the aggression of others. This is really important to remember. So if other people are becoming harsh or aggressive, or you are doing that to others, this is why this reserve is so important, because we can sit there still and take the, it's very gentle. It's just knowing that, it's interesting because, oh man, I have a really strong past with bullying and being on both sides. First, obviously, being bullied, and then obviously becoming a bully. And then now a balance of, no, I'm not going to put up with crap, but I'm not going to jump into something that absolutely I know I'm okay with. Like, you have to know you're okay with yourself inside. And this is important preparation for you right now, Libra, is preparing yourself inside, making yourself stronger and healthier inside. This doesn't feel physical. This feels like inner work. It says we can let go and allow ourselves to be held. Yeah, we just become gentle with yourself and others, and not maybe so busy, just calm and still. And just be careful of like over defending, or like the way you're, I don't know, it just feels like you could be really staying busy and like have a lot of reasonings like why you're staying so busy, but you really need to take the time to not be busy. So if somebody in your life says, slow down, chill out, take your time, or work on yourself, or maybe you need to look at this. Don't freak out, be calm. This dough is here, this dough energy. This is true nature here, very gentle. Of course, we get in that mindset of we got to protect our, we think the only thing we need to survive is the roof over our head and the nuts and the food and the shelter. And it's just not, because there's going to be those times where we don't have those things. Hopefully we have at least a minimal of those things. But if you don't, it's all spirit. It's all getting you through with spirit. Even if you are dealing with intense negativities from a particularly powerful opponents, Deer of the Delta encourages you to call for spiritual intervention. So there could be a lot of negativity too that you're dealing with or have around you or is coming in. And it's saying, use your grace, use gentleness, call upon spiritual intervention with complete confidence in the grace that will be instantly and consistently be bestowed upon you. Ask for it, you guys. Your strength and power can flow from your spiritual connection. This is building a stronger spiritual connection with yourself and your highest self. If you have been advised to toughen up, you are encouraged to instead remain true to yourself and find your strength within. And with the rhino here as your strength, I do feel like this could be saying also soften up, lighten up. Lighten up. This is tough energy. Lighten up this rhino energy, which is your strength, guys, because you're not afraid of anything or whatever, because you're preparing for everything and over prepare or whatever, confident in your abilities to prepare for things. There's something here that it's kind of vulnerable and it needs worked on inside. It needs strengthened. And I don't even want to say worked on. It just needs built on. It feels like something's trying to build on something here, but it needs to do it. It needs you to take the time to slow down and focus on what makes you happy and what you love, not just what you think you need, but what you want, your desires. That's what I'm getting. So Libra, that is your guys' reading. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming and watching your reading. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.